Rolling.
We still scan, but maybe I'm
So,
scanning your eye, I might be scanning your left eye or your right
This
eye.
noise woke me up.
You know what I mean? I might be looking at your
Well,
forehead.
first I thought it was a
possibly
salmon.
mouth, or whatever thing I'm looking at.
And I went downstairs, and the only thing I
might
remember
also
was
make
a
reference
big
to
pile
myself
of ashes
about my
piled
mind.
up with cigarette butts, like a
You know what I
mountain.
mean? So,
And,
you know, you might say, hey, Randall, we'll go over
My
there.
dad was sitting there in the dark watching our old black and
I
white
might
without any
put
sound
my
on it.
face over
And
there, and then I'll look. And then maybe I'll come back to you, and then I'll come back.
he looks
to
up
you.
and he sees me on the
So
stairs
what
and
it
he
is,
goes,
if you move the eye,
"Your mom's
it's
left?"
the exercise. If you move
She's
the eye
not
to the
coming
right,
back.
then the face follows.
Just like that.
Okay, if you move the face first, then the eye.
Smoking cigarettes and eating a TV dinner at 6:30 in the morning.
You know, so
So
it's
the
like
year
I'm
before,
looking here
our
and
dog
I'm
ran
talking to you,
away.
and all of a sudden I look down at you.
So I made these posters so that if somebody found
Maybe
my
I'm
mom,
looking
they could
here and
call,
look up, you know, and
like the
I-
guy who found our dog.
You
And
know, if I'm over here. And
to this day,
I'm
my
talking
dad would say
whatever,
he helped
and
make those
I-
posters, but he
holy
didn't.
shit.
He just sat there and
Never come
drank a
back
case
to
of
it,
beer.
see what I mean? So it's something I.
So I went up and down School Street and I
actually had a cross on a wall.
put up those posters and I was asking people, "Hey, have you seen my
I
mom?
wanted to get used to actually looking.
Have you seen my
and
mother?"
Being able to deal with something comfortably.
Her mom owned this
Whereas a lot of people get.
restaurant called Carol's down there in Tangerine, Florida. And I thought that's when she went.
Oh,
where
he's
she
just-
went.
he's fine. You got it.
But after a while, I just came to terms with the fact that
So you can watch it.
she left. She left for a reason. She didn't want to be my mother anymore. And she wasn't coming back. So, now I've told you all about myself, but I'm still not going to show you my apartment.
So, okay, what was that last line about the mothers and stuff like that? Give me that last, just before your ending line, you had a couple, you had
So
about
I
like two
came to
sentences.
terms with the fact that my mother, she left for a reason. So this noise woke me up. At first I thought it was an animal, but then I went downstairs and the only thing I remember is the ashtray was piled high with cigarette ashes and butts. My dad must have smoked like 1,000,000 cigarettes. He was sitting there in the dark, watching our old black and white without any sound on, and he looks up at me and he says, "Your mom's left, and she's not coming back." Just like that. 6:30 in the morning, smoking cigarettes and eating TV dinner. So anyway, her mom owns this restaurant called Carol's down in Tangerine, Florida. And I thought that's where she went. Nobody. Eventually I came to terms with the fact that she didn't want to be my mother anymore. And she wasn't coming back. So, now I've told you all about myself, but I'm still not going to show you my apartment. I cut out the middle.
That's cool. Yeah. But are you becoming aware of that now?
Yeah, I am. I'm not trying to go too far.
Sure, I
I don't want to
understand
do, because, here's why.
Okay.
I don't want, if I'm not going to, I've done too much training where it's over the top,
Sure.
and then we're trying to bring it back down.
And you're not able to bring it down.
It's hard to, you got to train yourself to bring it back down. So if I'm going to do this, I want to do it like I'm working with someone's face, to the left, to the right of their face, looking away a little bit, because
Sure, but all I'm saying is,
Let's do a, do a cut and start and all that. Let's
yeah,
do it.
whatever. Anyway, go
So-
for it. We got plenty of tape. We
You
got
can
plenty of tape.
prepare. Yeah, like,
I,
I know when you're rolling.
this noise woke me up, and at first I thought it was an animal.
Oh, hey,
So
start up.
I went downstairs, and all I remember is the ashtray was piled with cigarette butts and ashes like a mile high. I mean, my dad must have smoked 1,000,000 cigarettes. He was sitting there in the dark, watching our old black and white, without any sound, sitting there eating a TV dinner. So he sees me on the stairs and he goes, your mom's left and she's not coming back. Just like that. Smoking cigarettes and eating a TV dinner at 6 o'clock in the morning. So the year before, our dog ran away, and I made these posters for my mom like I did for my dog, so that if someone found my mom, they could call like they did when they found our dog. To this day, my dad will say that he helped make those posters, but he didn't. He just sat there and drank a case of beer. I went up and down School Street and hung up those posters, and I asked people, have you seen my mom? Have you seen my mother? Her mom owns this restaurant down in Tangerine, Florida called Carol's, and I thought that's where she went. But eventually I just came to terms with the fact that if she left for a reason. She didn't want to be my mom anymore. She wasn't coming back. So now I told you all about myself, and I'm still not going to show you my apartment. That's it.
Action.
So this noise woke me up. At first I thought it was an animal.
Well, things were changing.
So I went downstairs, and the only thing I can remember is the ashtray. It was piled high with cigarettes and ashes. Must have been a million. My dad must have smoked a million cigarettes. He was sitting there in the dark, watching our old black and white without the sound on it. And he looks up and he sees me. He says, your mother's left, she's not coming back. Just like that. Smoking cigarettes and eating TV dinner at 6:30 in the morning. So, the year before, our dog ran away, and I wanted to make these posters for my mom so that if somebody found my mom, they could call like the man who found our dog. To this day, my dad will say he helped make those posters, but he didn't. He sat there and drank a case of beer. So I went up and down School Street and I hung up those posters. And I asked people, you see my mom? You see my mother? So her mom, she's got this restaurant down in Tangerine, Florida called Carol's. And I thought that's where she went. But eventually, I came to terms with the fact that she left for a reason. She didn't want to be my mother anymore. She wasn't coming back. So, now I've told you all about myself, but I'm still not going to show you my apartment.